Okay, so you should know how to add text, you should know how to move stuff around, you should know how to add first get images and other media into the media bin, and then put it on the screen, and finally you know how to define scenes, um, which shows you what you play from one click to the next. What I haven't shown you how to do is input audio. I'm going to do that now, and then I'm going to show you how you sort of save this and share it with friends, because you don't really want to, this is not the way to view it with an audience, because you don't want them seeing this gray scene definition stuff, so you wouldn't be doing that. So I'm going to zoom back out, and I'm going to hit the space bar to pan. And if I were to finish this for real, then I would continue to use the text tool and continue to add more countries. But it's you've seen what you've needed to learn so far, except for the audio. So to add in the audio, you know that we need to open the media bin, okay? And then this is the audio I want to use, and I obviously want it to play on the France scene. So I'm going to drag it down near the France scene, and I'm going to log in a little so you can see more. Zoom in a little so you can see more. Notice that it just covered everything. Obviously, I can resize it, okay, and have it near there. But a couple things are going on here. I probably don't want to see this image at all, okay? Also, how do I control how and when it plays? This is where the advanced properties come into play, which we haven't used yet. So you can see that I have the sound selected. If I click this, it opens the advanced toolbar, okay? And it shows you that we're looking at the properties for the France MP3 file. Opacity is a word that stands for transparency. When it's at 1, it means it's completely solid. If I drag this slider down, you can see that it starts disappearing. I'm going to want it all the way disappeared before I present this, but I'm not going to put it all the way down yet, because there's one more thing I need to do. Remember that I mentioned when my France scene is showing, I want my audio to play. So that's where these come in. Play mode on screen, play mode off screen. So when France is on screen with the image and the audio file and the title, what do I want to happen? Well, I want it to autoplay. So I'm going to click autoplay. Okay? What happens when it switches off of France? Do I want it to play anymore? No. So my play mode off screen action is going to be to stop. So putting in those two features, autoplay when it gets to the France slide scene, and stop when it leaves the France slide, is exactly what I want to happen. Lastly, I don't want my audience to see this icon that I have an audio file, so I'm going to go back to opacity and put it all the way down to 0. Now you can't even tell there's an audio there. Okay, but watch what happens. This button here is the actual view mode. So I'm going to back up one scene. Okay, I'm going to go into play mode. You can see that it zooms in a little bit extra to meet the size of that scene. Now when I click next, it goes to Bulgaria. Oh, I went the wrong way, so not sure if you can hear the audio recording playing with this screen capture device, but as soon as I went to France, it started playing it. So you might be hearing me and me at the same time. I'm going to skip to the next scene, and then it stops playing. So if you didn't hear it in the screencast recording, you'll hear it in real life when you start it yourself. The other thing that I've shown you is when you actually want to play an ahead thing, I came up here and I click this monitor button. So if I am zoomed out and looking at my whole workspace, if I want to actually test it, I can go into view mode, and it's looking at the whole thing. So I want to go to home, and that goes to my first slide. When I hit next, it goes to the next slide. When I hit next, it goes to the following one, and it just keeps going in sequence. If I keep hitting it, it's going to loop all the way through, which you probably don't want to happen, but that's how it works. And the other thing I'd like to show you is if you wanted to share this, say, in your Weebly web page or something, this button here allows you to share. So you could either post it on your Facebook wall, might not want to do that for schoolwork, but this embed code is something we've used before with Vlogster files. So if you were to copy this whole thing, you could open up a Weebly web page and pull down a custom HTML block and paste it in there, and then that's going to show up on your Weebly web page. So I've shown you a lot. I'll be standing by to help you with more, but in the event you need to know any of this stuff when I'm not around to teach you, that's how you do it. So I hope that you like Ahead. It's a pretty fun tool, and we'll try to use more of it. Okay, thanks for coming.